Found a really nice little block of Douglas fir right here. It's nice, clean. It's a solid block, not a two-piece. And well, I'm gonna trace out another guitar body onto it. I'm gonna make another one of these because I like this guitar so much. I'm gonna make another one. So I'm gonna trace that out and get to work on it. All right, I got it traced out on there, and it's not really that noticeable on the other one, but the top part of the body on the other one, when I made it, it's a little bit thicker than the bottom half. It's a little bit off-centered. And this blank is actually about an inch or so shorter. You can see the difference right here than the original body blank I used. So to compensate for the other one having too much space up top, and this one being a smaller blank, I slid the body down about an inch. And I'm still gonna have the full neck pocket there, but the top horn, instead of being all the way up here like a regular Telecaster would be, it's gonna be right there. So it'll be a more slimline, sleek looking one, smaller body, but it'll work out the same way. Now, you don't see a lot of guitars made out of Douglas fir, not solid body guitars. They use Douglas fir for guitar tops because it's an attractive wood. But as far as the solid body electric guitars go, it's not really known for being a tone wood or anything like that. It actually sounds almost identical to yellow pine. And considering it's a lot more expensive than yellow pine, they just use yellow pine. So the reason I'm using it is because it was free for me. So ordinarily you wouldn't be using Douglas fir because it's not really a tone wood. It's about the same as yellow pine. It's just a lot more expensive, but it looks good, and that's what I'm doing. And I've got a knot right here I just noticed. Maybe, oh yeah, no, I traced it on the right side. Maybe I should have put the neck end on this side, but whatever. That's alright, it gives it character. Now I'm going to start cutting the comfort curves, which a lot of people just sand them, but I cut them out and then sand them. It's a smaller one than what I normally would cut, but it's a small body, so it doesn't need a big one. All right, I'm going to cut the other, the man boob rest over here, and then I'm also going to cut this corner right here. That way your hand doesn't get stabbed with the corner. Okay, so Douglas fir to me is just a lot easier to work with than yellow pine. I mean, it might sound the same, that's why people just use yellow pine, but it's a lot of times with my markings, it takes me a while to sand them off. This is coming right off. Got the body. The body's cut. Just need to route out the electronics. Got the neck in. Same exact neck that I put on my other one. Neck pocket's routed. It fits. I like to drill the holes for the neck plate through the top. That way I know where it's going to line up on the neck itself. So I'm going to put that in a spot where I want it. That should be good. Let me get that drilled out. So far, so good. It's looking pretty good so far. Right now I am measuring out the scale, 25.5. And with that, I measure out the bridge. I'm going all gold hardware on this one, just because I've never done gold hardware before. Let's see. Got this piece here I'm going to use as a cavity cover. I've already drilled out the holes where the pots are going to go, just as a guide, so I know where to make the cavity. Got that marked out, and I'm going to get that routed out.
No matter what you hear in there, no matter how cruelly I beg you, no matter how terribly I may scream, do not open this door.
This time I'm actually going to record myself making the pickups. And I'm not using screws this time. I've got actual pole pieces. I've got actual guitar magnets. I've got some, it's a little bit thicker gauge than what they would normally go with. I think it's thicker gauge than what I used last time, so I'm trying not to break it, so I'm using something a little bit thicker. But these are going to be pretty hefty pickups. And then I've got some 2-strand, or I forgot what I called it, two something kind of water, two contact point, or two something. It's basically, it's a piece of wire with 2 wires in it. So that's what I'm going to do there. And then I've got this cover from DiMarzio, and I'm going to use this to measure out the parts where everything goes. What I'm going to use to make the, because you need non-conductive bobbin pieces, and I'm going to use this tray to make the bobbin with. Wooden one. It's actually a cigar box tray thing. The last one I did with cigar box pieces came out so well. I'm going to do it again. A little rough, but I can sand that down pretty easily. So. Got one set cut out. Haven't got them into shape yet, but I'm gonna do 2 more for the second pickup. Let's go to the other end because this one's flat. down, rounded them off. Now I'm gonna pair them up like that and drill the holes. Pretty nice so far. Now I just need to drill a hole there for the screws, and then on this end I'm going to drill some small holes for the wires. Alright, got the pickup assembled, and I just super glued a screw on the magnet there so I can spin it perfectly level, even, it's perfectly centered. And I super glued it, used some really cheap stuff. You don't want to use super glue that's too good. You want to use something that's cheap. That way when you're done, you can break it off and clean it up really easy. Alright, got some... This is actually pretty thick for guitar cable. This is a lot thicker than what most people would use for guitar pickups. This is 37 gauge. Most of the time it's 42 or 43 gauge. But even this stuff, look at this. This is like hair thin. So it's really brittle, really easy to break. That's why I went with a slightly heavier gauge. And I'm going to try to get this whole spool, which is 2,000 feet, spooled onto the pickup. Screw. Started off going slow. Yeah, I've drained my drill battery, and I don't think I'm even halfway through yet. So, making pickups, and well, the basic idea of how a pickup works is actually really, really simple. It's poles, however many poles you want, a magnet, something non-conductive, like the wooden bobbin that I made there, and a piece of wire. And it's one piece of wire that's just wrapped around it, usually around 8,000 times. And yeah, that one piece of wire has two ends on it. Each end, the bottom end that you started with is your ground, and the end that you finish with is your live. You connect those to the pots and everything, and it works. It's just making them is really, really, really tedious. And if you don't have the machines to do it for you automatically, you'll be sitting here hurting your arms and your back for a couple of hours just for one. So got one pickup complete. Well, almost complete. Just need to attach the wires. That's what I put those little rings hanging there for. Make it a little bit easier to attach them. But there is going to be a direct connection. It's not going to just be attached to the rings. So, There we go. One's done. Just need to get that next one done. Normally, you would melt down wax and dip this in the wax, but I don't actually have the means to melt it down right now. So, I mean, that sounds a little ridiculous because all you got to do is boil it, put some candles in a jar, put the jar in some water and boil it, and there you go. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it a sloppier way, but it's still going to do the job. It took me a while to figure out why people would dip the pickups in wax. Some people were saying it does something for the sound, which it really does not affect the sound at all. And it seems like most people don't actually know why they're doing it, but they're just doing it anyway. Some people say you don't have to do it, which I guess you really don't need to. But the reason for doing it is all that fine wire that you just wrapped around and coiled on there, that could slip around and get damaged. You coat that with wax and it'll hold it all in place and protect it. That's why you do it. So, let me get this candle lit. Clear coated and everything's routed out. I for some reason deleted the footage of me routing everything, but it's alright. I'm actually, before I assemble it, I'm gonna go ahead and wax it just because. Ran out of shielding paint, but I've got some copper shielding tape here from my last project. In place, just need to put the pickups. Here it is. It is completed. Plug it in. Best thing is this one's got no dead spots in the neck, so it's not going to require a whole lot of work. So there you go. It's done. And yeah, let's get it over to Jacob. Well, you know what? I don't know, because Jacob already did one with my last guitar, my last signature Telecaster, which this is my signature guitar, really. I mean, this one's got a smaller body. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot more comfortable to play. But it's this blocked off Tele style with the PRS neck. That's basically my signature with hand coiled pickups. So he's already done the first one, but you know, I think I'll take this one over there to him too, just so you can see the difference. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.